Well, good evening, barflies and lounge lizards, and welcome to Midnight Martinis, the show where I take a look at something from my personal collection. Usually sleazy, always weird. Not sleazy this week, but something very, very amazing, and that is the Bandai King Kong, Kong, and Mechani-Kong. And these were a gift, an amazing gift, from the very amazing Alfred von Tickletoes I, also known as Al from the Kaiju Shorts channel, and most recently, my new favorite channel, Them's Fightin' Words. And if you haven't seen Them's Fightin' Words, it focuses on classic martial arts films, and it is fantastic. If you dig that sort of thing, run check it out right now. Matter of fact, put this video down because you're holding it apparently, and go check that out. So these guys right here were basically two items that were on my toy bucket list. And the toy bucket list is essentially toys that have come out that I somehow missed, couldn't afford, etc., etc. And that was definitely the case with these two bad boys here. The Mechani-Kong, for example, I remember when I was still living in Los Angeles. Yeah, I still remember living in Los Angeles now. When I was still living in Los Angeles, I would go to Anime Jungle in Little Tokyo, which had a ton of this kind of stuff. And they had the Mechani-Kong in the glass case because it was an expensive one. And I used to just stare at him and think, oh, if only. Well, if only is now here. So, I mean, it's just super, super, super groovy that Al has knocked not only these two things off my toy bucket list, there was another thing that happened in the distant past, but I'm not going to speak about that because that's a very, very secret kind of story. Now, as to the figures themselves, I mean, they look amazing. It's not even one of those cases where, oh, I just really wanted a Mechani-Kong and a Toho Kong. No, I mean, these, I really wanted them, and these just happen to look fantastic. I mean, and it really only took, I'd say, 2 years worth of subliminal messages, skywriting, and psychic messages to get Al to get rid of them and send them my way. So, yeah, well worth the effort and the tinfoil hats and all the good stuff it took. As far as these guys go too, like this height difference here. I haven't seen King Kong Escapes in a long time, so I don't remember if there was such a height difference between the two, or if that's just the way they made the figures. Either way, it's kind of cool though. And look at that. Just look, and look how just charming he is. I mean, they just don't make him like that anymore. I mean, that's a charming face on that Mechani-Kong there. And of course, we have the Toho Kong with, I mean, look at that, the nice hairless chest, got a good view of some Kong nipples. I mean, that's pretty much everyone's dream, right? And if you look here, let's get him closer here if we can without it all getting all blurrified. Look at that hair. That nice, almost pompadour, sort of, kind of Elvis-y looking. Oh, don't be blurry. I'm trying to show off your hair there, Kong. Look at that. I mean, that's a groovy, stylish Kong right there. I mean, he clearly puts a lot into his appearance, and as they should. Now, I don't know if I've ever said this on record, but I will say this now on record. My favorite design of King Kong of all time, you see me shaking this table, is the Rick Baker Kong from the 70s. You don't get any cooler than that. And I just do not understand why there's not more merchandise for that particular Kong. But that being said, Toho Kong, with his hairless nipples, is actually my favorite Kong of all time. I love the King Kong vs. Godzilla. That was one of the first, if not the first, Daikaiju movie I ever saw as a whippersnapper. And it was always just one of my favorites. And I have said before, I think, that growing up, I favored Kong to Godzilla. And when we would, as kids, play as kaiju, daikaiju, whatever the young folks are calling them these days, like by the pool and stuff, I was often King Kong. And of course, King Kong Escapes, where you have this bad boy in it, is one of my favorite Kong movies, or maybe my favorite Kong movie. I don't know. Either way, it's really great, and these are really great figures. And this isn't really a review. This is just kind of, hey, look at the neat thing I got. But let's see. Let's look at his buttocks. Yeah, it says here that I was almost kind of hoping that it'd be hairless like that monstery thing in Caveman. If you guys remember that, when they go into the ice cave and you have the hairless butt guy chasing them around, chasing Ringo Starr around. Man, Talk about good times. And if you'll notice, there don't have a ton of articulation, which anybody that knows me knows that I am a sucker for a lack of articulation. Not a big fan of it. I think it always just kind of takes away from the appearance of some figures. It works with some, like say a Spider-Man or something, but with guys like this, I like just good old basic, not much movement. That's pretty much all I got to say about these. It's kind of running a little longer than I was expecting. Oh, check out my new setup. Isn't this awesome? And it's just one of those cases where I want you to agree with me. I don't really actually care about anyone's opinion on that. Just agree with me. And that's all the time we have for this week. Please like, comment, subscribe. And Mechani-Kong says, keep it wacky. Oh, and go subscribe to Them's Fighting Words right now. The link will be below.